Hi, I'm Sophia and welcome to Kitchen Caravan. Today we are making a lamb, quince, and cider stew that is perfect for the holiday season, and it has quince, which are these fruits similar to apple. Actually, a lot of references say that it was quince and not an apple that was in the Garden of Eden. And it's going to have a lot of sweet vegetables, carrots, parsnips, and sweet potato. I'm using the white sweet potato. So I'm just going to show you how I cut the quince. And you don't need a lot, just a few pieces. And it's just going to be in medium-sized chunks. So you want these to fit on a spoon, but not be so small. It's still a hearty stew. All of your vegetables want to be the same size. We're actually putting anise hyssop in this also, which is an old herb referenced in the Bible. It's been around for a really long time. It's just not so popular these days, but you can find it at farmers markets. I have it dried that I bought online, and we'll give you the link to that also. But both quince and anise hyssop are really good at aiding digestion with meats like lamb, and that's how they're typically used in the Eastern Mediterranean. So we're continuing with that tradition, and we're adding some elements native to us, like cider and sweet potatoes and things like that. So it's a blended stew of different cultures. Now I have some butter melted here, and we're gonna get our vegetables cooking. I have my carrots and my parsnips, my sweet potatoes, and the quince. You wanna get those going, getting some flavor into them, cooking down a little bit. So I'm gonna let them sit here and maybe get a brown edge or two. I'm gonna sprinkle my lamb with flour. And this is gonna allow the lamb to caramelize in the pan. And when you're making a stew, the first step is to sear off the meat and the vegetables and give them a nice coating on the outside, and then they cook really long and slow, and that's when they cook through on the inside. But you need to start with that initial sear, or else the meat remains chewy and it doesn't get nice and soft and break down. So you want that oil to be really nice and hot, and you don't want to start, once you put the meat in, don't go pushing it around and moving it around. You want it to get a really nice edge, so you need the pan to be hot, and you don't want to be pushing it around, or else it'll get stuck to the bottom. I'm going to transfer my seared off meat into the pan with the vegetables, and then all of these little brown bits are nice caramelized proteins, and they add, let me give this a stir, they add a really nice flavor. So I'm going to add a little bit of this, and this is called deglazing, so you just add a little bit of this to the pan, and once you add it, you want to start scraping. And this is going to concentrate all of the flavors that are in this pan, pick them all up, and transfer them into that pot. So make sure you use a wooden spoon for this. Everyone should have a wooden spoon in their kitchen. Use a wooden spoon for this and start scraping up every little bit that you can. And then we're going to pour that into our pot. You don't want to miss out on any of these little nuances of flavor. That's what makes the stew so good, is all of the layering of the flavors, the marinating, then the vegetables, then the little protein bits, and then we're going to pour in the cider, and this is another layer. And you might recall that Emma and I did an episode on, we did a segment on Eve's Cidery in Ithaca, New York for our local eating month last year. And this cider is incredible, and you just want enough to cover the meat. And this is going to be really delicious and sweet. It's a sweet stew. It has sweet potato, it has parsnip, it has carrot, it has quince, and all of these light sweetnesses are going to just make you want to melt. And I'm going to add a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of this anise hyssop. Like I said, it helps with the digestion of fatty meat, so it's going to be great with this lamb. Then I'm going to add a bay leaf. And then once it comes to a boil, you're going to let it simmer really slowly for about an hour and a half. And that's going to really cook through the meat and get it nice and soft. And you want to make sure that your heat is really low and that it is simmering. It's not boiling away, because that's not going to make the meat really nice and tender. So after about an hour and a half, the stew is ready and it's time to serve it. And always remember that stews are better and better the next day and the day after that. So it's really great to make a lot of this ahead and have leftovers because they're really, really delicious. So it's your turn to make your own lamb, quince, and apple cider stew and keep on cooking with Kitchen Caravan.
That looks lovely.